Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. I'm working on the ship. As I said, I want to do some work around the hangar and maybe add some more of the laser weapons. The whole ship kind of needs now a network of these basically laser conveyors. It's a bit weird. One thing I have to figure out is if there's a way to have one starting point of these and then maybe then go off into different directions, or if I have to use multiple of these laser reactors. Basically, it's a bit weird. These things upgrade the whole laser system, and you can use these lasers without anything. Then they work like the point defense lasers, the one that I have here. This one will be removed, by the way. That's not a good placing for these. And that is nice too, but I want to have stronger weapons. And that's why I need these things behind them. One thing, if you use it yourself, by the way, you can find the link. There's a link to most of the mods I'm using in the description. There's a collection, and then you can find these MA lasers in there too. If you use these, it takes a while to update. Normally, I think it's a reload or so. You might not immediately see these orange red lasers in the pipes. That comes later after a reload or so. Then everything should be ready. I saw the effect the effect of these when I was moving the drone that I found up there. They immediately started to kill it, and it's a neat mod. But again, I have to figure out if I can connect these up and then use just the network to transport the lasers, or if I have to put, don't know, one of these things for every for a certain amount of lasers. Not sure, have to see how that works. There's pictures that seem to indicate that you can do something like that, but I'm not sure how at the moment. So I will remove some of these blocks every few blocks, or this is again, I'm trying to have a certain amount of blocks per something like that. I'm going with 3s. So this whole ship, I did that for the last big ship that I built. That was basically an upscaling of the Duchessa, and I scaled it up by 3. So every small block on the Duchessa meant that there would be 3 by 3 by 3 blocks on the bigger Empress, I called it later. And here I'm going with 3s again, just so that there's a certain logic behind it, so we could make this thing then smaller and would have a nice ship too. Okay, this is 3, then 3. Should I go? I will have a bit of a distance between the lasers. So we have 4 here, and then we should be able to See that I've marked some blocks green and then gray so that I can count them easier. So this is, let me bring this in so that I can go and mark the next positions for the lasers. Another thing I need to do is fit in some thrusters on this side too. And so this side is not as deep as this will be. Here you can see it. This is the bottom of the main hull, and this is the bottom of the side hull. So I have to find a nice position for some thrusters too. Maybe I could go from the ends and then go in a bit. That might be an idea. I want to have, in the end, 6 thrusters on each side. This ship mainly needs to go straight ahead, and I will have a jump drive, so this one will not move a lot. So this ship should mainly stay where it basically lands, and then just move a bit to a position where it maybe suits itself better. One thing I want to do is this time we will definitely do that. I want to standardize some things. So I want to have a bit of standardization when it comes to designing smaller ships that go in here. For example, connectors on the bottom. So for whatever, for welding ships, for mining drones or something like that, we will use connectors on the bottom and then design the ships around it. That's one thing I want to use for Spugs. Is it Spugs Auto or Spud? I can't take a look at it right now. There's an autopilot script that I want to definitely use, and this autopilot script works best, as far as I understood it, if connectors are on the bottom, and so we can. So that's why I want to standardize in here now. So the standardization gives us a bit of form that we can use for all the ships that we build later, and I want to design around certain features that the ships should have. And again, the easiest for now is have connectors on the bottom, and then we go from there, because I can then have connectors in the hangar on the bottom where the ships can dock in, and then we can fly away with them. So okay, I think I will do the thrusters on in the slope here. I have a slope here, and we could put the thrusters in there maybe. Okay. The next thing that we talked about was the flying into the hangar. So I need a certain distance between these So I want to have 4 blocks distance between there and the bottom here, because that's the size of a hangar door. A hangar door is 2, 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom, makes 4. So we can then have a nice hangar that we can close. And I also have some ways into the main hull that I already carved out, basically. And we need to connect this up then too. Okay, let me back to the original color. The hangar door, I'm not sure if I should put it immediately here. I think I will go back 1 block. There's always the problem, and I can show you that on the other side, that if you don't fill in behind slopes, let me go to the other side. I hope it's visible. Yes, here. If we don't fill in behind the slopes, we get these lines still. And I don't like these lines, so we have to always fill in behind slopes. We can do that with other slopes, or we can do that with blocks, and that should then get rid of these. When they are filled in, these lines should, yes, see that? They are going away. And I want to do that mostly around the ship. I don't like these lines, so they need to go. Okay, this one. Give me another. We need another line down. Okay, no, I'm missing. That's one thing I should install. I should install a way to get to materials easy. That should be done as soon as possible. At the moment, the ship is connected up to the station. Later, the ship is just too big to dock to a station, and that's one thing that this autopilot can also establish. We could try to have shuttles between the ship and the station, so that whenever we fly back to the station, we don't dock. We just bring materials over with a shuttle. That would be neat. Maybe that's a thing that we can organize later. The Spugs, I think it's Spugs Autopilot, also has a way to, and that's one of the coolest things with it, in my opinion. Oh, I messed up. I don't care right now. One of the coolest things that it can do is you can build something like the hangar we have, and then you can have the ship basically fit into the hangar itself. So you can make flight passes for incoming ships and all that stuff. It's neat. Later we will definitely take again a deeper look into it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 here too. That should be okay. It's not perfect, but I think we will stay with it. Let me fit in the lasers. I'm doing this here because here we can have the normal block lasers basically fit in. I hope that a sloped laser will happen too at one point. That would be really neat because then I wouldn't have to have just the straight blocks where I can fit them in. I could use, for example, the slopes in these walls to have lasers in there too. Not sure. This will do for now. Good. Let me bring in the LAZORS, and there's a certain orientation, but I think I will just go with what I have right now. Good, let me fit in the lasers and I will come back to you after I have done that. Now we go over into the part where I do something that is completely unnecessary and that just my brain demands right now. I've started to place the thrusters here and I place them directly next to these struts here, and I have a bit of a problem, or I don't. I could just go and do the same here, but then I would run into into the problem that this is just too close to the lasers. So I will later dismantle this laser, move it over to here, and the thing I want to do right now is completely not dismantle this, but move it just one block over, just one block. This whole thing needs to go one block over. I'm constantly running into new drones. And the good thing is I have some weapons that can protect me here. And these don't... These are unfair right now. They don't... Ooh, it's so bad. Is there more? Is there more? That was not planned. That I'm running into this thing right now. Are you dead? Are you already dead? The thing with these lasers is they need to point at something for a long time because it seems they work on heat damage or something like that. There's an explanation. And the longer they can point at something, the more destructive they are. And in this small state right now, that takes a while. That just takes a while. Can I dismantle something here? Let me fix that, and then I will start to move this over. I just hope these attacks don't get more frequent. That's one thing I don't know, is if this corruption mod, or this corruption mod kind of makes it harder and harder with the drones. I hope that's not the case, because these fighters didn't really it didn't. Normally, all the drones basically say, "Okay, here we are. Now deal with us." And these fighters didn't. The fighters just showed up. That's a good thing. But on the other hand, it would be nicer if the drones would at least state, okay, now you have to deal with us, and not just state that by exploding things in my general direction. That would... But hey, that's life, I would say. Makes everything a bit more interesting. Okay, this I will have to open all of this up again. The sides and these things. The bottom needs work then. Okay, this needs to be moved one block. But that should be okay. This is... Doing this is like having, don't know, sewing. Having a dress finished and then having to reopen the whole thing again. Especially with the build and repair systems, some of the stuff is already done, some of the stuff isn't, and I don't know where I can use the grinder and where it's not a good idea. Let me color this in. This should be better here. Maybe. I'm still working with the smaller inventory. That is... People that just play with the small inventory, they really deserve a lot of praise, because this is really, really not fun. Okay, this... I added another build and repair system back here to get rid of these things. These are the rests of the drone. I don't know why they drift now, but I'm trying to always push them into the direction of the build and repair systems. For some reason, the janitors, they sometimes don't work as I would like them to work. So I had a drone brought in here, wanted to dismantle it. And the problem that I had with it was that it didn't dismantle it completely. Although I have set it to, okay, dismantle enemy blocks. That's what you can do with a built-in repair system. You can say, okay, I want to have these enemy blocks. Oh, okay, an Argentavis. That's not nice. I want to have enemy blocks automatically disabled, or neutral blocks, something like that. Here it didn't work, and just after I used the grind color, it started to completely remove it. And don't know what's up with that. But now it's in. With the grind color, it completely works out, so I can live with it being just having to paint it. Building this ship is really, really neat. It takes away some of the problems I had with building other structures. For example, the building on the surface of the planet. I'm struggling with this. I'm really struggling with building surface structures. Don't know why. It's not a thing I like. building ships, I'm getting more and more into it. But building surface structures, it's one of the things space engineers has. It's not completely not necessary to build massive ships, massive surface structures like these. A lot of people build stations, for example. KMX, I think, is building a big base on the alien planet, and this is also, I don't know. I don't know where to stop building, and that's the same thing I have with big ships. This is all not necessary. I don't need massive hangars and massive here, massive there. It's just a thing you do because you can. When it just comes to survival, you can really go with smaller ships. You don't need all of this. But the same counts for everything. For bases, for the asteroid base here, for example. The asteroid base is bigger than it really needs to be. The same counts for all bases on planets, and. You don't need all of this. And now with hopefully the next update coming at one point, not to be negative, I saw that the negativity, the forced negativity that one special YouTuber is putting out doesn't stop, and now goes into territory where I'm absolutely not. It's not worth talking about it. But I hope that with the coming update or coming updates, this changes a bit, so that there's then how's it called? Incentive? That there is something that makes building massive ships, massive bases like this worthwhile, and not only a thing, where you say, okay, I can do it because. Not sure how to say that. It's again, it's one of the things space engineers struggles with. You can build these ships just out of pure fun, and I hope that in the future it's not only the pure fun you can have with building big ships like that, but that it also is necessary for things. For example, it's a good thing that the jump drive, for example, is just there for in the regular game, in the vanilla game, it's just there for, I think, for big ships. Makes it a good thing, because it now you can have these carrier ships that are just there to carry your fleet around, and all this stuff. That's really neat, and again gives a bit of a reason to have massive ships. Okay. Now this can go away. I have to come on, let me just remove it completely. Oh no. The built-in repair system started to complete this. And I don't know which one it is. So let's just remove this all. And then, okay. Okay, this goes to here and then flat, flat. Give me the slope again. One thing, yeah, this is the part where I definitely regret having done the work already. Because here it's these areas here are just not nice to rebuild. I will go and hope that the build and repair system picks up all the things that we now just drop into space. But I don't want to lose the materials. Okay, now this area. This area starts here. Maybe it would be nice if you could give me your opinion on the whole why build big ships. Why do you, for example, build the big ships that you build, if you build big ships? Because is it just for the pure fun of it? Or do you like to have, for example, mobile bases? Mobile bases is one of the things where you can say it's a good idea to have big ships for that. If you want to include a whole lot of storage, and if you want to include a lot of industrial capacities, then you definitely need a big ship. Or are you just building them because you can? This would be interesting to me, just for the sheer the information. It's a bit of a thing to me to know this, because you could be more interested in building more massive ships, just with, I don't know, we could have massive ships for different applications, for example, or I could, with your suggestions, make this ship more, more to your liking. If you want to know how, not that I'm the guy to follow there, but if you want to know how to make these massive ships, or we could experiment how to best set up this stuff. Is it good to think about how to lay out your conveyors before, or is it enough, like I'm doing it, to leave space for them? All these things, something big is coming in. Okay, there's a kamikaze drone. Is it shooting at me? Oh no. Okay, let me get rid of this. This thing wasn't pleasant at all. The kamikaze drone did exactly what the name implies. I moved out of the way and it directly shot, not shot, yeah, flew through the point I just were flying it. Some of my guns then vaporized it successfully. That's a good thing. Yes, back to what I was talking about. It interests me because we could also go the other route, and we will do that anyways. We did that with the small the small big ship that we had in the last season, where I made a small ship with fighting capabilities, but also a bit of transport capabilities, and bringing in okay, this is not necessary, bringing in some materials from the stuff that we shot down. And maybe we could also go that route and try to find ways to make the ships smaller, but also have all the necessary things on board that we need to fight, to produce, but make it so small that, don't know, that it's just an idea where we could direct the route of the whole thing here. It's starting now, after nearly 700 episodes. I'm starting to struggle a bit with what can we do, because now we do things over and over again, and that's maybe not a thing I want to do anymore. I'm not sure. That means nothing. I don't want to drop the series or something in any way. But now, with nothing new coming in at the moment, we run into exactly that problem. And maybe it's a good idea to get some opinions on what we could do. I'm kind of done with building on the ground. I have the feeling we could do another monstrous rover, but the planets, as I talked about, the planets have nothing that is really interesting about them. Space is really interesting now with the drones, for example. The drones, the corrupt drones, make it really interesting now. We now have to think about things like where to put weapons, how to defend ourselves, all this stuff. That's a good thing, but now we need a way how we deal with the threats. Should we build more small ships that can do everything, or should we concentrate on getting this monster here completely equipped, and then maybe have the perfect the perfect moving base or something like this? Not sure. I'm not sure how we should do this. Okay, now this we did this now. This stuff here. We did that just for one purpose, and that's so that I can take this apart take this apart. And this. Give me a sec. I need this and this. No, one back. So that we could just do this, like we have it here, and now we move this laser, we remove it and move it one over here. Let me paint this because this thing has more stuff in it than, and we just move it here. So that was completely unnecessary, but that's the way I want to deal with it here. Okay, now have another thruster here. No. Not right. Have another thruster. 6. Here. Okay, 3. This is 2, 4. I want to have 6. By the way, I have this down here. At the moment, this is the the thing that would hold the whole ship in one position, and whenever I'm finishing thrusters on one of the sides, I can remove the thruster down here and then remove this whole thing later. So I already removed the thrusters to the thruster to this side. Okay, now let us put in another laser, and I need to go in there and do the settings. 800, idle movement stop, don't target neutrals. Good. Okay, this can be removed then. I hope the whole thing will be done in a bit. And then I have it at least nice on both sides. That should work out. Another thruster on each of these points, and then I think we are done for today. I'm running long, I'm rambling, but I wanted to go and do a bit of a build video again. I think that was necessary, just to talk a bit, build a bit. I did too many updatey videos, and this needs to be done. I need a good way to make this look a bit nicer, and at the moment it's just too flat. But on the other side, I need to put in the thrusters too. They will go on this side. Then we will have a bridge. I'm not sure if I want to put the bridge somewhere below this slope, or if I want to have the bridge a bit in the front, somewhere here. Again, we need to design the front part of the ship. That needs a bit more designing. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I want to widen it to this side a bit, at least 3 blocks, and then have something below here that needs to be done, and maybe leave it flat so that I can stick some thrusters up here. I think people will also come and say again I should do a gravity drive. I'm not even sure if that's still possible, but we might take a look at it. And then one of the next things I want to do is put in the floors and maybe leave them open for now. So I could put in the outer hull, leave that open so that we can bring down or lay down more conveyors. But I also want to do that here and then decide where to put machines and where to put storage. That's also a thing that we need to address. Here I also need to think about having heavy armor plates in here. So replace this layer with heavy armor plates so that ships can land in here. Yeah, I think that's a thing we should do. And we need to think about how to address the laser situation in here. I think these four and these four will get their own laser reactors, and I will just connect them up in a straight line or something like this. I need to figure out if it's better to have more of these laser breeders, laser batteries, however they are called. How is it called? Power source, laser power source. Okay, that's how we will call it from now on. If it's better to have more of these laser power sources, maybe they stack up and I get more destructive energy out of them if I have more, and then I need to see how they are connected up. needs figuring out, I would say. Good. People, I think that's all for today. We did a bit of building today and removed some stuff, made some stuff bigger, and did some placing for the guns. And now I can do some more work off camera. And the next thing we should do is, find a good layout for the conveyors and think about where to put storage, where to put machines. Again, I want to have the storage somewhere in the front, machines, power sources. I want to have somewhere back there. Give a bit of distance between all these things so that if the power sources get attacked, I don't lose all my storage and all this stuff. That's a thing we need to think about. And then we need more layout for lasers. I need to the top, to the bottom, and to the back and the front. I need some. With this thing, you could also do some fixed lasers, but for this ship, fixed lasers are not a good thing. I want to sprinkle in some of these. These are plasma cannons. They have the main destructive power when it comes to the weapons I have on board, or the energy weapons I have in the game. The plasma turrets do the brunt work there. Maybe I can find a good placement for them, and we also need to do some point defenses. This is also a thing we need to address. Also, how to attach. I have these diagonals, and we might want to do some on the bottom too, just so this thing seems to be attached to the main hull. We will see. Good people, thanks for watching. Hope you liked the episode. If you did, then please leave a like on it. This will, I think, be a long one. Okay, people, thanks for watching. Hope you liked the episode. If you did, please leave a like on it. Then take a look at the description. There's all the links to the collection of the mods for this game. Then the links to other social media, and yeah, all you need to know. Good people. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. See ya, guys.